Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Three Geeks podcast. We are all back in Columbus, Ohio, ready to chat it up, catch up with Max, and catch up with Scott, whom we haven't seen in a moment. But first, I want to take a quick, brief second to shout out our Remake Madness we have coming up in just a few short weeks. We start recording all these episodes. It's a lot of fun, and one of the things I've always wanted from all of these remakes that we do is for everybody to get involved on the internet. So I got 2 short videos to show our audience of what's going on around the interweb so they can get excited and they can follow all this chatter. Max and I will be releasing ours later this evening, and I am so excited about all the hype and all the work everybody's putting into this thing behind the scenes. So I got to play these 2 videos because I think they're great, and I think Mix was particularly great. Here we go.
March 29th, 2021. The Remake Revolution, March Madness, Steel Cage, Jamboree, Shindig, whatever they're calling it, is going to commence. Teams from the past and teams from the present.
Johnny's a selfie stick.
Collide. Trying to show who is the very best.
Yeah, he does shake a lot when he's recording.
Yeah. He's shaking with rage.
Yeah, the steel cage.
I know what everyone's saying. Everyone's talking about how John and Brian, they haven't won in so long.
Have they ever won?
Shots fired.
Yeah,
maybe.
You know, they beat us one time. That's why they made the belts.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Some nobodies, Zach and Dylan, they're the top of the heap. They're an unstoppable force.
I don't know, man. He's got some work to do with some nobodies. Those guys are great at this.
Because we're determined. We're tired of losing. We're getting out of the first round. We're going to move on and take back those tag belts. Because they were ours to begin with. They need to come back home.
Yeah, only because you made them.
So Zach and Dylan, bring your A game. So we're going to bring our A+ game. See you on the 29th, guys.
John is such a teacher.
Well, I think he's trying to get into that wrestling, right? The promo. Yeah, I love it. I love it.
It's definitely cool. I mean, big ups to John. I know you enjoyed Mix a little better, Jason, but big ups to John for just getting shots fired. This dude just comes out, guns blazing, all attitude. I dig it. I was 100% down when he started it, and I super dig it.
Can we hear what he's saying?
Hear him, Jay.
Stenchcast.
There it is.
Smell you all over. Smell the fear. What you don't understand is you make these videos. You hear the crackle in your voice. See the bead of sweat dripping down your side with fear. The snobs are coming. And on March 30th at 7 p.m. at the Coliseum, we're coming after the canned pears, the canned pears, or whatever they are. It doesn't matter to us. Whether it's them, or it's the black and blue all over, or the 3 princesses.
The 3 princesses.
Oh my goodness.
Champions. Your trajectory is down to the mat. 1, 2, 3. The snobs are coming for you.
Man, they both did a great job.
And I like how he's a snob, and look how he's dressed. You know,
it should be noted Max is a competitor.
But I am excited because, like you said, John's was good because John's got it all started. And then, of course, when Mick comes, he's got to come a little bit better or there's no point. And just like you and I, Max, we're going to come better with ours later today.
You know what, though? I don't even want to give these little, I'm not trying to devote more of my time to that bullshit. I'm not worried about any of these teams. You know what I'm saying? We are proven winners. It's not even going to be the battle for second place commences, let them keep talking shit to each other. It doesn't matter.
Second place.
I don't mind being a princess. I don't mind being a princess at all.
Hey, Princess Leia, okay? How about that?
That's right. I'll just get 2 bagels and attach them to the side of my head, and I'll come to the game and play like that.
Hey, it don't matter. Princess Leia's a hard ass. Let's not get it twisted.
But
I'm now expecting bagels,
Yeah, no.
I mean, you just promised me this.
I would like 2 everything bagels attached to my ears, smothered in sour cream, cream cheese.
Tim says, more worried about the hair on Nick than the eyes. That headband, LOL. Yeah, Tim is actually joining us for the second half of this show today. He will be joining us to count down top 5 sci-fi movies. Tim is the host of Focused on Forward and of Funny Science Fiction Podcast, both great shows, and he just joined the Scene Snobs Network. So, Tim, we love you, buddy. We'll see you in an hour. But that's not why everybody's here. Who had the chance to check out Falcon and Winter Soldier or Justice League?
I watched both this week.
Los Dos. It took me 6 hours to watch the Justice League movie.
It's a slog. It's a slog for sure.
Oh God.
I think I'm going to have a completely different opinion than some of the guys on this podcast, which that's what's fun, is having different opinions and conversations. But I'm actually
all right, Stockholm. Your new name is Stockholm from now on.
I'm with the majority on this movie, though. This time, I'm not with the minority.
Okay. We'll see how it goes.
I thought Justice League was by far a much better movie than the one that was released by Joss Whedon. It actually made sense. There was a cohesive plot. Again, I like all the actors portraying the roles, and I liked it. I'm not going to front. I liked it. I think we could have done without slow motion. I think Mike said it in his review. I think it would have been a better 2.5 to 3 hour movie. But I overall thought it was a pretty solid film, actually.
I haven't seen it yet, and Jason's quick little review there makes me not want to watch it.
Bam. Bam. Okay.
I didn't want to watch it before, and I'm probably still not going to watch it. So
I mean, it
better.
is a different movie,
Mm-hmm.
and it is better than what they showed you before. I will concede those 2 points. Everything else is fucking trash. It's still a trash fucking movie. The movie still fucking sucks. The character still fucking sucks. Dude still fucking sucks as the Flash. Like, the movie still fucking sucks. Is it better than that other shitty fucking movie that they put out? Sure! But what the fuck isn't?
I liked the movie quite a bit, actually. I did. I really, really did. I liked that Superman was back to being happy to be Superman. I liked that the lip quiver was gone. That was fantastic.
Oh, okay, yeah. So they took out the dumbest thing that they put in the movie. Okay, that makes it a great movie. All of a sudden, I thought, let's just forget all the other problems with the movie.
Ben Affleck was super strong as Batman. I really liked Alfred. I liked the team up between the group. Wonder Woman was much better portrayed. This would have been a better sequel to Wonder Woman than the actual Wonder Woman sequel we got. I like this movie quite a bit.
No,
Justin?
it's still rushed. It's still like, okay, we have, we told the story of 2.5 of these. Okay, even after like all the Wonder Woman movies came out, Aquaman came out. Even after that, this movie still feels like a rushed movie, like where you understand the characters a little bit more. Like, we've had more information now, so the Marvel Avengers fucking thing should apply, but it still doesn't.
I didn't feel it was rushed. I thought we got really good character development.
So you have one extra scene with the Flash, and
they did Cyborg much better, I thought.
Yes.
Oh yeah, except for the fact that Cyborg is so wholly uninteresting that it doesn't matter how much time you devote to him.
Yeah, you hate Cyborg in general, don't you?
Yeah, the character sucks.
Yeah, I want to caveat that for any listener. Max genuinely hates Cyborg in general.
Oh my god! So like with Cyborg, they have more of the scenes where like he's in the computer, so his mind is like walking around the computer, and it's like, okay, so he looks like himself when he astral projects himself into technology, and it's like, ooh,
spoiler.
To be
awesome.
Fair, that's how it was in A Young Justice as well.
Yeah, no, it's fine because Cyborg is the fucking same.
But you like Young Justice.
You just hate him.
Justin, what did you think? It sounds like you fall more in the middle of the two of us.
Yeah, I'm definitely in the middle. It's definitely a better movie. I think it definitely. I can feel where Max is with it being a little rushed, but I think the fact that it was chopped up and kind of melded together with Zack Snyder's cut, but 4.5 hours, man. That was never going to work. Like that was never going to work in general. I wouldn't go see the movie for 4.5 hours. Like this is a theater-based release. How is that working? The only reason this works, in my opinion, right now is because we're streaming it.
Did you think it went by slow? I thought it went by fast.
Dude, I had to take a break. I mean, it's a fine movie, but I had to take a break. It was a lot.
I took breaks too because I had to go to bed. But other than that, like I could have kept watching it if I had started it earlier. Because I thought it just flew by.
No.
It was fine, but
note to the listeners,
it felt long.
He had to go to bed in the middle of the day. So. Once 2 hours, time to sleep now. Time to go.
When something puts you to sleep, that's not you had to go to bed. Like it's not that's not how it works, Jason.
I watched it till 11:30 last night. I did really good for myself, and you guys know it's a compliment if I can stay up till 11:30. It's a compliment if I can stay up past 10. So the fact that it got an hour and a half past my bedtime is
utter ridiculousness. No, like it's still just like not great, and then like just the bad guy. I thought Steppenwolf was a little.
He was definitely better.
The one thing I liked with Steppenwolf was like when he was talking to Desaad, and the dude's like, "You have to conquer 50,000 more worlds before you can come home. Like that's your punishment." The dude doesn't go to 50,000 planets and subjugate them.
Yeah.
Like,
also,
I thought Steppenwolf's motives were also a lot more clear in this movie than in the Joss Whedon Frankenstein monster.
Devote more time to anything, and hopefully you understand it better. Like that's just common sense.
I did like that they brought up the anti-life equation, though. That was a lot of fun because I don't believe that was in the first movie. If it was, I don't remember it.
No, and I think it's tied to the previous two films a lot better than the last one did. And to me, I'm going to say this is a bold statement, but I'm going to state, and everybody knows how much I love the Star Wars movies. This trilogy is far better as a trilogy than the new Star Wars trilogy.
That's a bold statement. I'm not a big fan of the new Star Wars.
I think the new Star Wars movies are fine on their own, but as a cohesive overall arc, I think they did it better with this.
It's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out.
I think you just made me angry enough that I want to shit.
Can you at least turn the camera off?
My stomach just kind of went like. Have you forgotten Martha? Do we need to bring that shit up again? I mean, there was no Martha.
Look. Okay, so they also say, I haven't watched it, but they also say that if you watch the director's extended cut or whatever of Batman versus Superman, it's better and it makes Martha less bad. That's how much better. This is the internet chatter that I've heard. So if you watch an equivalent of like 10 and a half hours of fucking half-ass fucking Justice League movies, then maybe you get a half decent movie. That's what the.
I mean, it really emphasizes the problem of them not taking their time, right? It's just like had you done 2-hour movies of each character or built it up, you could have spent 10 hours individually on character development, and then you get the Justice League and make me care about the Flash. That, I mean, I like Barry Allen as a character, and I didn't like that actor. I mean, he's fine as an individual, but I did not like him as the Flash.
Yeah, him in this role is not good. He still has that look like he just farted, and he's waiting on everyone else to smell it.
See, I don't disagree with that. I agree. We should have gotten a Batman. We definitely should have gotten a Batman movie. If nothing else, there should have been a Batman movie before Batman v Superman.
Yeah,
but
in a Superman movie that wasn't Batman.
Somebody who liked the Ultimate Cut better than the original version of BVS, the Martha moment still sucks, and everything past the Martha moment still sucks. It's just the rest of the movie is slightly better. And at least this movie, I don't know. I liked it. I'm sorry, it just clicked with me.
You don't have to apologize for liking something.
You don't have to apologize.
No.
It's great. I'm glad you like it.
You do, however, have to apologize for saying it was better than the Star Wars.
I said, as an overall story, this is a better.
I know what you said.
We tried to make an overall story. With the new Star Wars movies, there is no overall story. Each movie resets itself.
But there wasn't a Martha moment.
But
There wasn't a, hey, every freaking superhero is going to be as depressed as shit.
Well, Snoke was pretty much a Martha moment.
We had Finn and Rogue.
Finn is one of the greatest characters ever put on page. He's so compelling.
I like it when he wanders around like a Capri Sun. It's funny.
Yeah, he's so compelling and so deep and well thought out.
Yeah, just like Superman, just wandering around going, I'm sad because I got superpowers, and my dad went to go save a dog for some reason, and now he's dead.
I love that movie, man.
Comparing these trilogies to me is like I'm so uninterested in like whichever one's better. So what? Who cares at the end of the day? Like they're both like not great.
No, I agree with that, but I just can't see that this DC thing is better.
That's
like, I'll just sit here and read some comic books and just pretend like these never happened.
Now, as somebody
Jeff the Killer Joker too. That's great.
Oh yeah, the Joker scene. Oh yeah, that totally made it worth it. The freaking extra Jared Leto Joker scene. He's so great.
We needed.
He's so great as the fucking Joker. Oh my god!
Do you hear Max being dead inside? I feel Max being dead inside.
Oh my god! Give Jared Leto a fucking Oscar for this movie. He's so fucking wonderful.
I thought he was better in this, but yes, that scene was a waste of time.
Better than what?
Most of the epilogue was a waste of time, but one thing I want out of this, like, I don't need more Zack Snyder directed movies. I felt this was a nice capper. I know that there's a cliffhanger at the end, but I'm fine. It was fine for what we got. But the only thing I want to come out of all this is I still want a Ben Affleck Batman movie.
I do. I think we need a Ben Affleck like older Batman movie. Like, I guess he was playing older Batman, but I want to see a Ben Affleck movie where Batman is like, I might have to stop being Batman. Like,
he did such a good job with this role. Him and I'm blanking on the guy's name. Played Alfred.
Jeremy
Irons.
I love him in everything.
Even J.K. Simmons as freaking Commissioner Gordon.
That was the only thing I was not like. I wasn't feeling J.K. Simmons as Gordon, and he didn't do a bad job. Like he's J.K. Simmons, so he's fucking awesome. But I just wasn't. I wasn't feeling him as Gordon. I thought they could have done a different Gordon.
See, I want to see that cast in a Batman movie.
I'm down. I can't say no to it. I don't know who you get. That's better to play Gordon. I don't know. But Daniel Day-Lewis, maybe? I don't know.
Okay. Since the spoiler alert's up, did we like the Martian Manhunter plot line that was kind of interweaved?
The Martian Manhunter is another character that just sucks.
I don't. Well,
I agree.
I don't know a lot about Martian Manhunter outside of this.
Martian Manhunter.
His weakness is fire. A caveman can beat the Martian Manhunter.
Yeah.
There should be like that Geico. Even a caveman could do it. Like it's just like the caveman
murdering Martian Manhunter. Even a caveman can do
it. Yay!
Yes.
I need to. Shit, you guys made me forget what I was gonna say. Martian Manhunter. Why did he go see Lois? That made no sense to me.
Because she's the key for Superman.
I get that.
They're building up. What was the bad version of Superman? Injustice.
Yeah, I saw that.
He's building towards that, right? So, like, she's the only thing tethering him to being good. Is basically what I think is implied. Him and his mom.
Martha.
Because I think, because there's a clip of like Lois Lane dying or whatever. I think at some point or whatever, and then that turns him into bad Superman. And
oh no,
that's what he was trying to go towards, right?
Yeah, let's go around the horn for Justice League Snyder Cut. I give it a 2.5 out of 3. I had fun. It might be my expectations.
5?
It totally could be my expectations. I have to watch.
I will accept a 2 from you and no higher than that.
Now, 2.5 out of 3. I had fun watching it. It gave me, I don't know. Like I said, I really like this cast of characters together, and it got a 2.5 out of 3 for me. I like this movie, and I didn't think I was going to. The one thing I could have done without is so many slow motion moments. I wish that had been cut down just a little bit. But other than that, I like Snyder, the movie.
Yeah, that's true. What do you give it, Snyder?
Max, where do you
give
this film?
1.
That's not bad. For you, that's not bad.
It is the best Justice League movie live action that has been put out. I can say that. So
even
if you're interested,
even the 90s version for TV?
That doesn't count as a theatrical release Justice League movie.
What's up, Mick?
Well, this doesn't either. This was
yes, it does. There
really?
Oh yeah, because they used scenes from the movie that was released, so therefore it's the same movie.
No. This was not released theatrically.
This version is the best one that you can find. And yes, it probably is better than that other one you mentioned. But
it is.
Yeah. 1 out of 3 geeks because it fucking sucks.
I think I'm firmly in the middle between the two of you. So 1.5, 1.75, however Matthew want to do with that. But it wasn't as bad as what Max says. It's not as great as what Jason says. So I'm firmly the porridge that's just right.
But it's just like I don't understand how 10 dudes in a room can come up with like this is the good idea. Like, I guess it was all Zack Snyder, right? So like he just had nobody like checking him, and he's just like, "This is what we're doing," and I love this.
Did he get paid to recut it, or is this just like a thing? You know what I mean?
A passion project.
Yeah.
I think it was a passion project.
Yeah, I'm just like, dude, how are you letting them rush you into this? You know, so like. You gotta follow the thing. Like, how do you just like, okay, well, then we're just gonna make a Justice League movie? Like, no, I don't want to make a Justice League movie. At best, I'll make a Justice League movie where it's just the big 3.
Mm-hmm.
Like that would have been better.
Yeah, the less characters, the better for when you don't know the characters. That makes sense.
And I mean, like again, I don't understand. I don't understand why they had to put these characters in. And for Ezra, what's this guy's name? Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
That guy, like you get like 1 extra Flash scene, or no, you get 2 because he goes and talks to his dad in jail, and that's just like the most. Oh God!
I do like that they gave the Flash some like level of power, right? Like they kind of took away. You know what I mean? The
Flash to me is like the most powerful member.
Right? Agreed. But they kind of made it more visible, I think, in this movie.
But like they also end the movie with time travel. You like it's the worst thing. It's the fucking worst. It's bullshit. It's bullshit every time. And then you see where it's like in the beginning of the movie, he's like, when I approach the speed of light, sometimes time gets wonky, but I just I don't do it. And I'm like, okay, if you could run the speed of fucking light. And
that's all I would do. Be like,
I'm gonna go faster than light and see what happens to my atoms. Like it's utterly absurd. And then like,
all right, well, moving on.
Time travel. So like they put that there just so that when he time travels at the end of the movie, you're like, oh well, he said he could do that, so that's totally fine. I did like that he ran out of his shoes once. That was a cool thing.
Yeah, like, awesome. Falcon and Winter Soldier was a thing.
He pivots and his shoes come off. Like, they just rip off of his foot, which is awesome. That was a great like they could have stopped there and that would have been a much improvement on the Flash that they gave us.
All right, anyway, we got Falcon and Winter Soldier. Let's talk about that because there's 2 other news articles I really want to get to before 1 o'clock. And Falcon and Winter Soldier I had a lot of fun with. Max?
Yeah. I dug it. Anthony Mackie, I'm not his biggest fan. I've never had a problem with him as Falcon because like it's not that big of a role. He doesn't get a lot of time, so he's totally fine as Falcon. So in this one, I was kind of nervous to see like what we're doing when he's the focus of the show. So, but no, it's good. I dig him. I dig him as the Falcon. I like the character they're trying to create. and I like kind of how the story is going, where it's like who the fuck is? Are we spoilers? Anyway.
Yeah, go ahead. Spoiler alert, everybody.
Yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, this Captain America that they drug out. Like, is this dude like
no jaw Captain America, no jawline at all?
Yeah, it's the best.
Yeah, I don't know what is going on with this dude. So I'm just like, I don't like some sort of super soldier serum. Like, is that it? Like, is this U.S. agent? I like the character U.S. agent, but I don't know if this dude's face is just weird. He's got a weird.
It's Kurt Russell's son, supposedly.
Oh God, his face.
Is it the Punisher?
He got Goldie Hawn's jawline. Dan,
what?
Did you watch it?
Yes, I did. I don't know. I thought you wanted me to comment on the jawline some more.
It's Berman's problem.
Did you like it better than WandaVision?
Yes, I did. I actually watched this one, and I wasn't angry at it the whole time. Yeah, well, you didn't ask me what I would rather watch than that Justice League movie.
Well, we don't have a thing for that yet, Dan. I'll get one.
Oh, God damn it, man! But I thought Falcon was fine. My problem is with the Winter Soldier's little storyline. How he, spoiler alert, I guess. How he killed that dude's son, and now he feels bad about it, so he becomes his fucking neighbor.
Well, no, he took him out to get
really.
Well, but like he's got other people crossed out on that list. So
yeah, he's like an AA person, right? Going back and just
it's gonna make amends.
That's gonna be a long time.
100 years of doing that. Yeah,
it just seems oddly ridiculous. But okay, whatever.
The opening sequence to this show was amazing. I liked it a lot. And I really liked, actually, Bucky was one of the highlights of this show for me. I really liked him a lot. And yes, Anthony Mackie Max, I've seen him in Marvel and then 2 other movies, and he's okay in the other movies, but yeah, he definitely shines in these Marvel movies.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with other Winter Soldier character. It's just, I want to see him like blowing shit up and, jumping around, shooting.
Yeah, being a super soldier.
When he's got that do-gooder clause in his thing, so like when he goes to capture that lady, and he's like, "It's like, did you hurt anyone?" Nah, I didn't.
Yeah, the three questions. I loved that. Be like,
that was a bit fun. Like when he takes over her car and shit. Like that was fun. But it's it was a solid first episode, I thought.
Yeah, they're really nailing these TV shows. I like them.
And the best thing about this one, there's no canned laughter.
You're just not a sitcom fan.
No, I don't mind sitcoms. I hate when you make a sitcom and they tell you when to laugh. Like you're too stupid to understand that.
That's all sitcoms.
Have you ever seen the videos of the laugh track removed? It freaks me out. Like when they just sit there and wait for 3 minutes or whatever. What? Sorry.
Said they're painful.
They are. They're terrible. Yeah, they're awful.
Yeah.
Scott, did you watch Falcon and Winter Soldier?
I did watch Falcon and Winter Soldier.
What did you think?
I liked it. I'm kind of with you. I thought the Bucky parts were the standout. I wish there was a little bit more because the Falcon stuff I found not that interesting. When he wasn't being Falcon, when he's just like, oh, my
when he's trying to save his shrimp boat.
Yeah, and like what? So she's like, oh, I won't take any of your money because like I feel like Falcon probably get some. Even like a small amount of Stark money could probably solve like all his family's problems. And what his sister's like, no, I don't want you to do that. So he's like, oh, well, we got to go get a loan. Like, I don't know. It's like, it seems like a problem that shouldn't be a problem considering like his affiliations. And I understand he was like on the run for a while. But I assume
he's 2 phone calls, maybe. Like he knows plenty of billionaires.
He got blipped too, right? Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing. It's like he's got so what I thought was interesting out of his like plight was that it's like if you did go to a bank, there would be some sort of, oh, you were blipped, we can't help you clause, because like that's how things would run. So I did like to see like that kind of like normalcy where it's like, oh, well, if you're a person and you got blipped away, like the world, they they moved on, and now you're it sucks that you're here. Like, so like I can definitely see people getting fucked over in that way.
Which brings up the question: if you got blipped, does the money in your bank accounts keep compounding interest until you come back?
I think it would depend on if you were ruled dead or not.
Yeah,
because then it would go to your next of kin or whatever, so you would actually have no money when you came back potentially.
Well, that's no fun.
Well, they mentioned in this episode that it's only been like a couple months since everyone came back, so I could see things being kind of chaotic, and they don't have like real policies in place to like deal with these people. They're probably still like figuring stuff out. So if it was like a couple years later and they don't have a system for dealing with people who are just suddenly back, because at the bank he's like, oh, you don't have income for 5 years, and it's like, that's because I didn't exist for 5 years. So
right.
I can see that happening, and I think it's smart that it's only like a couple months since people came back, because that would be a real thing. But yeah, if it's like 3 years later and it's like, oh, I need a job, I'm like, oh, you didn't work for 5 years, like that.
Yeah, what the fuck? Well, it would have been 8 years, right? Because if it's 3 years later, then it's you came back into existence and then didn't work for 3 years, like lazy bum.
I'm just saying it makes sense in the context of the world why it might still be like difficult, and they don't have some kind of like policy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know how you would go back and be like, well, you had this amount when you left. Like, yeah, I don't know. That's hurt my brain.
I'm just saying, like, it doesn't make sense that he can't just get money for his sister's boat.
I agree. Totally agree.
Yeah, but it's like in Spider-Man. Was it Spider-Man? Where like they blip back and like somebody else is living in their apartment. Like those are the like situations where you're like, well, what the fuck can you do? You're like, okay, if the government was like, yeah, we'll track back to 5 years and whatever money was in your bank account, we will, like stimulus to you. That's hard, but somehow doable. Like if there's some way to, they're like, we're going to use your taxes for 5 years ago, and you get this much money if you, claimed whatever on your taxes, blah, 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 blah. That's something they could do. So you can have some cash within, some like a decent amount of time. But like, what do you do when you were renting a place, so it's not yours, or even if you owned a place and then it's like, yeah, well, we tore that down to put something else here because no one was living here. Like,
what you got blipped? Take all your stuff.
Oh my god!
This is a great season 3 of fucking Iron Fist. It's the boardroom big tax negotiations.
That dude has a crazy punchable face, though. That new Captain America.
Yes, he does. Like, I think he's supposed to.
It's like a solid Captain America cosplay, except for his head.
Yeah. Just take that off and replace it with something else.
The first thing I said when I saw him was like, "Oh, he looks like Casey Neistat."
Yeah, he does. He sure does. You're right.
I don't know who that is.
Nice. What does everybody think it?
What?
Max Geekit.
That's the name?
What?
That's the actor name?
What are we geeking the show?
Oh,
is what he wants to know.
I heard Max Geekit. I was like, is that his name? That's weird. That's a weird name.
I will give this one like almost 1.85. Not a 2, but like it's not a 1. It's just kind of like I want to see more. He did spend a bunch of time in the bank. Like while the theory of the thing is interesting, watching it happen turns out not so much. That's So it could easily go down the road of Iron Fist. Is the problem? Like,
hot banking action.
Like that's
Tell me your APR. Tell me your APR.
Or maybe I've just been I've been hurt too many times in my past.
Where's my toaster?
Yeah, but I'm digging it. I give it 1.8, almost 2.
Man, we are getting really fractional with our pointing system right now.
Yeah. Okay. I like this. I especially like the whole Falcon bits when he's like flying through the different helicopters and shit. That was cool. So to go with everybody else, I'm going to go with a 2.357.
We're getting pie.
A little bit better than 2.
Yeah. Justin?
I think I go with a 2. I think I'm going to live with a 2. Okay. I don't want to deal with points and decimals, so I think 2 is good.
All right.
And Scott comes in. What do you got?
I would also go with a 2. I think decimals are a cop-out. Just round up or down.
Well, I was going to go with a 2.5, but everybody else
God hates math.
Fractioning everything.
I mean, I understand sometimes you're like, oh, it's not quite a 3, but I think 2 is too weak. Like, I do think the 3-point system is a little limiting. I understand, but
yes,
just grow a pair.
3 Geeks with pair review.
I give Scott's reaction a 2.5.
Yeah,
I give Scott's reaction a 2.8529765.
Repeating, of course.
Yes. Repeating decimals are the way to go.
Everybody that's listening or watching, send
what
in
did
your
you give
comments,
it, Jason?
questions. I gave it a 2.
You gave it a 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I pushed with everybody. But I want to take a quick second before I get to the last 2 news articles to talk about this fun experience that me and some of the guys had last weekend when we got to meet our friend Stacy Toy and really just bummed around Jersey for the weekend. And we got to meet Stacy's friend Gil, who was freaking great.
Yeah, Gil,
so thank you to Stacy and Gil.
Cool.
You guys showed us an awesome time. But we didn't get to get a photo with Kevin Smith. But so John, we didn't. I'm getting there.
No.
So John dressed as the mayor from Jaws, which is kind of like fishing with dynamite when you're going to meet Kevin Smith because you know he's going to notice you. And John goes into the stash, and Kevin Smith does call John and say, "Hey, come here! Like this is awesome! Great Mayor Vaughn cosplay." And of course, John got to take a photo with Kevin Smith. We all got fist bumps except for Justin because he was the only one of us that was considerate to everybody else that was waiting outside. And
there's a large line. I felt
but Kevin came around, he fist bumped us all, and he's a lot shorter than I expected in real life. Like, I don't know what I expected, but he is a little guy. Very nice guy though. Ernie did such a good good job on the new secret stash.
They did great. It was a great setup.
That's from inside, right by where they were doing the autograph session, and then that is the picture that will haunt my nightmares. And then just like so much, like it's only a block down from the old stash, so it's super close. But there's just so much cool stuff, and that's the new podcasting studio that they have that we're gonna go do a episode from very very soon. And they haven't opened it yet, but I saw pictures of the inside, and it looks awesome. It's actually connected to the Quick Stop,
whose owner is awesome. If you ever near that place, go chat with him and buy something from him.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. Like the guys were saying on the trip, you'd have to be a funny guy to still own that place because of all the schmucks like us that come into your establishment taking photos.
Hey,
we bought stuff. I bought it.
You gotta be pulling, just like go Kevin Smith, like do the best you can, like keep my Quick Stop like on the map. Like,
is Clerks 4 in the works too? Like let's keep coming to my store.
Eavesdropping, I heard that Clerks 3 is actually going to be filmed in that original Quick Stop.
There we go.
It's like tourism accounts for 38% of my business.
Yes.
Come nerds.
Buy some candy bars and some pop. There you go.
That's what I thought was so fitting is the fact that Kevin Smith is putting his recording studio literally next to the Quick Stop. Like that is some kind of full circle. Like it's going into the old RST video spot.
Which is kind of sad, but
Yeah.
You should open up a video store. That'd be crazy.
He should. And that's
does he want to burn money? Like what?
Well, hey, you could just sell VHS tapes. That'll be fun.
And we went to the record store where they filmed Chasing Amy and spent a fortune. Dan more so.
I think Dan was in heaven though. It was nice to see Dan that happy.
It was a nice record shop. I was
Dan's like, look at this awesome CD, and we're like, have you heard it? He's like, no, but look at this awesome.
We're gonna find out.
Yes, it's either gonna suck or be great. I don't know. Either way, it's fine.
You're right.
But again, I want to extend a thank you to Stacy and Ernie for inviting us out. Next time, Max is going to go with us when we record at the Jay and Silent Bob's Mod Studio, and that should be pretty cool.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
So, and that's the plan for that building, right? Because I think I might have missed that. That like they're going to let people rent space in that space.
That's how I took it. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you can just record and yada yada. I wonder how long before like a band is like, can we just use your studio to record this music?
Yeah.
Like what it's supposed to be used for.
That, but okay.
But I thought that was really cool. So I don't know if anybody knew, but the Time to Kill book series continued, and I'm probably the only one in this group that has read it all. So one of the things I was A Time to Kill is one of my favorite courtroom dramas of the 90s. I think that's pretty much the same for a lot of people.
I don't have a favorite courtroom.
Yep. Yeah, that's very niche.
Yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn
in hell.
Bitch. Samuel L. Jackson.
One of the things I was disappointed about by the new books coming out is that I'm like, they're never going to get Matthew McConaughey back. They're going to reboot the whole thing. We're going to get a Time to Kill remake. But that is not the case. And HBO and Matthew McConaughey's track record together has been fantastic. And Matthew McConaughey and HBO have teamed up to continue the Jake Brigance storyline through, the stories of the other two books. And I couldn't be happier than a pig in shit. Like, I am so excited by this news. I know I'm probably the only person in the world that saw this and cheered and danced, but Max knows how much I like the Time to Kill. This, I'm excited to see this character.
I feel like Jason should be a lawyer, and he just missed his calling by half an inch.
It's not even his best book.
Missed his calling as a court stenographer.
That's true.
Yeah, there you go.
True.
But he just watched all the action happen.
The second book is not as good as the first and third because the second one is dealing with winning an estate battle because somebody left.
Yes.
So in the second book,
that's the second book.
So in the second book, an older gentleman leaves all of his financials to a young black lady that took care of him. She was the only one that looked out for him. So the whole thing was about, his family saying, why does she get the money? Why don't we get the money? We're family, we're blood related. So that's what the second book's about. But the third book is tremendously better. And this series will be set on the third book. Kind of glad they're not doing that second book, at least not right away. But this is awesome. HBO is involved in making a Time to Kill sequel. Like, sign me up. I'm in. I'm all in. Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, I think I read.
So the second book is just like Knives Out.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah, sounds like
Sycamore Row is what it's called.
Yes, with less murder mystery.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's just not
and less good acting, I guess.
I'm not excited. I don't care. They're doing this.
Because look at what they did to the Rainmaker. Like you couldn't make that book into a movie, so they made it into an entirely different movie with the same name.
They did it with my boy.
Matthew McConaughey had another lawyer movie come out like recently.
The Lincoln Lawyer.
Yeah,
Lincoln Lawyer.
Yeah. It was just okay or whatever. Like it wasn't even. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the exact same.
I don't know. I've liked every one of John Grisham's adaptations.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Which one do you not like?
Pelican Brief?
Yeah.
The Rainmaker. The
Rainmaker I thought was fine. I have favorites.
Have you read the book of the Rainmaker? Go read that, and then watch the movie. Then get pissed off.
He's out here making.
Which one is the one with Tom Cruise?
The Firm. I like that one a lot.
The Firm.
No, that was stupid.
They cut out a whole lot in that one.
Yeah. The book. I'm not knocking any of the books.
Yeah,
I'm just talking about the film adaptations.
See, when if I ever do a remake revolution, I know John's never going to see this, but John Grisham is the guy I'm going to have rewrite my Matlock remake.
Oh God,
that seems right for you. It's on brand.
Yeah, it does, and it's perfect. You bring a ex-lawyer to do the thing, yeah, he'll crush it. But that was good news. I was excited about that, but not
I'm
excited.
gonna get the guy from Suits to write my Matlock remake because he was in a lawyer show. So why not?
I am excited that Ace Ventura 3 is finally being worked on. I'm
so hesitant because I love the first two.
Yeah,
I want it to be.
I didn't like the second one as hardly at all, and the fact that I'm so excited about this when it could definitely be closer to the second one, I'm still all in. I don't know what this is about.
This might be really sad.
It might be really sad. It might be, but I want it to exist. It can't be worse than Ace Ventura Junior, which I saw 5 minutes of, and Mick actually worked on that movie as a PA.
Oh, that explains a lot.
Yeah,
that explains a lot. I don't know if this is more like the first Ace Ventura movie. It's crazy and zany, but I don't know. It was like more of a small thing. But the second one, Ace Ventura goes to Africa. It was. I liked the first one a lot. The second one I thought was trying to do it was way too out there. So if they bring it back to Ace Ventura in a place where he might actually be, I'm more down for that.
It's the same issue I have with Dumb and Dumber 2. It's that he was no longer playing Ace Ventura in the sequel. He was playing spoof of Ace Ventura in the sequel, and that's the same thing he did in Dumb and Dumber. So I hope we don't get that spoofy character. I hope we get the really smart guy who knows when to be serious and is also crazy that we got in the first movie.
Yeah.
Did you see the same movie that I did?
Yes, I don't think he was ever smart.
No, he was a great detective. Yeah.
And he does. I'm the smartest guy in the room 4 times in the first movie.
Yeah.
The whole is zany.
He also has a whole. He also has a whole apartment filled with animals and just random shit and a 20-minute ripoff of The Crying Game. Right?
Yes.
So, I mean,
it's everything that made me see it 37 times in the movie theater. I think that number keeps going up.
not really that I don't like.
I keep changing this number.
Ace Ventura, like I do. I also like the sequel. I'm just apparently not into it as much as JT.
I got a movie poster.
JT.
No one is.
There's not a person on the planet who's more into it than JT.
This movie
and John Grisham can rewrite it.
Yeah, it'll be great.
No. I don't want John Grisham to rewrite it.
Ace Ventura, the courtroom drama.
Now with more Iron Fist.
From my Ace Ventura franchise, please.
As long as animals, the jury, right? There's just a bunch of animals. This toucan did not like you.
Yes.
Oh,
man,
I'm down. I'm down for Ace Ventura 3 though. I just hope that he's not on another crazy wild African adventure, and he's got I don't know, somebody stole somebody's parakeet.
I want the original characters to return. That was one of the things I didn't like about the second one. We didn't get Melissa didn't return. Courtney Cox, Tone Loc's character didn't return, and the I'm pretty sure the landlord is still alive because he was in Breaking Bad, right? That's the same guy.
Yeah, he's Uncle fucking what's that? T.O.
Yeah, the little bell. Bring him back. Let him have a bell in the second one or third one. All right. Does anybody have any topics before commercial?
Before commercial.
I don't know.
I wanted to talk to you about the commercial. There's a little bit of editing I wanted to suggest to you about your Mad Talk commercial.
Oh yeah, that needs to be edited. I 100% agree.
It's just one thing. It's a solid podcast commercial. There's just one thing that I would.
It's 10 minutes long.
Just to make it, Should I? I don't want to blow you guys up, in front of everybody. Should I say it now?
I'm okay with you saying it now.
Okay. The part where John is like, Jason, tell us about the email. Just cut that right out. Just like go to you telling what the email is. That's the only thing I would say.
Hi, Justin. I'm sending that to you in just a few moments. Get right to work on it. I'm not going to go into details about the who, what, where, when, and why, but I do want to talk because it was a fascinating process. So I had my first experience with Hollywood negotiations, and let me tell everybody out there that it's intense.
Hopefully it's in buildings too.
Very intense.
Right? Just the word. Just the word.
I see what you did there.
I know. Just bad.
It's intense, especially when you want to be friends with everybody in the end. So you got to try to find that happy medium, and I think we did it. And I can't wait for everybody to see this project. It's coming very, very soon. Produced by Justin, John, and myself. So definitely check it out. It's gonna be cool. Everybody's gonna.
It was a lot of work you guys did too. So let's not forget that. Like fucking, you guys
Justin did all the work.
I'm impressed with all of you.
I just showed up. Justin did the work.
It was a lot of cutting and then moving of lines of timelines. It was all
Justin
good.
Is a video editor, just like Mozart.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
You did better than we did. You actually watched 3 YouTube videos.
How low is the bar? It was fine. It was good.
The bar was pretty damn low.
It's not Justice League movie low, but it's
It's like John and I watching the birth of our first child, watching Justin work. We were just like, Justin, how did you do that? Wow, Justin, you can do that. And Justin's like, guys, I just watched a YouTube video. Watch the YouTube video.
Next time. Like, you should know this.
Justin, this is amazing. How did you do that? I just hit the delete button, guys.
First, you plug it in. That's what you have to do.
Again, watch
the thing that comes out.
The video,
that's not
guys.
a cup holder.
Either way, it was a lot of fun to do that stuff with everybody. It was fun to learn some stuff.
All right, everybody, we'll be right back after this.
Talk commercial, take 5. Hey, Jason, have you ever been accused of a crime?
I have not yet, John. But if I ever was, there's only one man I would call, and that man is Benjamin Matlock.
You would be right to do that because he's a guy that can certainly clear your name of any accusations that come your way. It doesn't matter, man, if you're accused of, say, I don't know, murdering your ex-husband live on your TV cooking show, or using a pair of scissors to stab your business manager to death. Or maybe you sneak into your landlord's office and off him overnight during the Christmas season. Matlock can get you taken care of. And you know what? He's also a dude that is the subject of a pretty cool podcast called Matt Talk. Right, Jason?
Yeah, he is. And I'm so glad John just aired out all my dirty laundry. But it's great to know that when I stab my landlord or I, commit any crimes, I can call the one man. And that one man is Benjamin Matlock.
That's right. And you can check out our podcast called Matt Talk every second and fourth Monday of the month. It's available on all of the podcasting platforms, including Anchor. Just go to anchor.fm/Matt Talk. And it's available through the Facebook page. Of course, that is at Matt Talk Podcast. And you could check out every single episode when they drop. And real soon, it'll be available every Saturday at noon through the Scene Snobs channel. Just look for it, the Scene Snobs, on Facebook or thescenesnobs.com. Jason, tell them about the email and the Twitter account, please.
You guys can email us anytime at benmattalk@gmail.com. That is benmattalk@gmail.com. One more time, benmattalk@gmail.com. Email me. Let us know what you think of this commercial. Please email us. We really like emails. We have some great interviews with Lori Lathine and
Linda Pearl and Scott Valentine and a ton of other great episodes. And by the way, check us out on Twitter. We're just got on Twitter at MattTalk_podcast. And so, ladies and gentlemen, check out an episode. And as they say in court, nothing further.
Hi, I'm Casper.
And I'm Becky Grimlin.
And we're the host of Don't Fuck With the Original.
We are a spoopy horror podcast that pretty much covers everything under the genre.
We cover haunted locations. We cover true crime, cryptids, movies, anything you can literally think of. We are all over it.
Everything spoopy.
On Wednesdays, and why?
Wednesdays are for podcast. Thanks, guys.
Hey everybody, it's John Orlando from the PBD Cast. Are you wondering where you can find my podcast? Well, it's real simple. Just go over to pbdcast.com, the online home of yours truly, or it's available through all of those major podcasting platforms. Just search for it in Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, iHeartRadio app, and don't forget that every single Monday night at 8 o'clock, I do a live broadcast of the week's episode of the PBD Cast through the Facebook page. Just go over to facebook.com and search for @PBDcast and join me every Monday night at 8 p.m. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get on out of here. So I'll chat at each and every one of you later.
What's going on, everybody? It's the Scene Snob, Mick Manhattan, and I'm here to tell you guys about thescenesnobs.com. We're a channel of variety, comedy, entertainment, geek-related, sports, the whole 9 yards. We cover almost every genre. And we have so many great shows to choose from. We have shows like the Scene Snobs Podcast, BTB Podcast, The Guapo Show, the Sports Snobs Podcast, the PVD Cast, Jeff Dwoskin presents Crossing the Streams, the Three Geeks Podcast, the Fandom Effect. We probably have the only Matlock-based podcast called Matt Talk, and we're introducing new shows all the time. We have new shows coming up like the Ear Hustling Podcast, Carpool Shenanigans, and of course, from some nobodies, Twitching Upstream and Talking Upstream. So come on, check out thescenesnobs.com, enjoy it, and please leave feedback. Like, follow, subscribe us, and just let us know what you think. We love to have all the interaction. So I, again, am the Scene Snob, Mick Manhattan. Check out thescenesnobs.com. You can follow us anywhere on social media at The Scene Snob, and we will talk to you guys soon. Take care.
3, 2, 1.
I'm Gunnar Quaylen.
I'm Jenna St. Clair.
From churchofsecrets.org.
You're listening to John, Dan, Scott, Max, and Jason
on the Three Geeks Podcast.
That was close to the actual lineup we have today, except for
I was about to say, holy shit, is this like legit right now?
Almost.
Oh man, I got a little excited there. I was like, oh, who are we missing? And John, I forgot.
Swap the J's
so
out.
Close.
I just need to ask them to make some more, like Max said, just one for each combination.
It's gonna be so terrible for this. It's like, all right, I guess I'll do one every combination.
$8,000.
Wait till we get to the point with all of our
we can just take that audio and have Justin just like scratch out one and like
that's
ADR another over it. It's like
just get a recording of each name and then we just stitch them together in whatever combination.
Can you imagine?
We're gonna need a lineup a week beforehand just to get that all ready.
It's fuzzy.
And then I just won't show up.
Ben.
Steven, Jesus.
It's just all the people that
won't sound like that. It'll sound like a ransom letter, like how you just get apart. Like,
oh yeah, I feel you. She'll be like Philip.
What do you guys think of my new camera? My 4K camera I bought.
It looks exactly the same.
It's nice. Yeah,
it's great. Doing great.
No,
it looks very close.
You can see my beard hairs.
Oh, yeah.
Why is that the basis? You said that to me yesterday. Why is it the basis of your buying?
Because it shows how good the camera is, Justin.
Does it? Does it really though? I mean,
you can see my beard hair.
I can't read the stuff behind you. So, oh god, there's two Scotts now.
Why?
Double Scott. Scott 100.
Amazing. Oh,
there we go. It like disconnected for a second, and then I came back in apparently, and
one of these is a pod person. Figure it out.
Among Us.
Why are we
like, you have to pointing between the two Scotts? Like, which one do I shoot?
Say something that only an Animaniac would know, Scott. I gotta know it's you.
So Justin and I invited somebody to come on next week as a co-host on this show. We did an interview with her, and she was absolutely, Sherry Nelson. She was absolutely so much fun. Justin and I thought you guys would love her, so I put a rush on having her on. So next week she'll be joining us, and you guys are in for a treat because she is awesome.
She is a lot of fun.
She is. We could have talked to her for hours.
Huh.
Hey, Tim.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good, man. Max and I have done a show with you with Mick and stuff, but the other guys haven't. So, Tim, meet Dan, Justin, and Scott.
Yo. Hello, Dan, Justin, and Scott.
Hello. Scott's here. He's just not apparently here right now.
He's shy.
he's shy. Somebody new.
It's okay, Scott. I don't bite.
I met Tim at AA. We were in a support group together.
You know what
Binders Anonymous.
You know what that second letter stands for, right? The second A. It's supposed to be anonymous, man. You promised.
You were the worst sponsor ever.
Yeah, he's basically Alfred in all the Batman movies.
But before we get into our top 5 sci-fi movies, I want to talk to Tim real quick. Tim, tell us about your podcast, Funny Science Fiction and Focused on Forward.
Sure. Okay, so we'll start with funny science fiction since that's the reason why I'm probably here today. I mean, unless you guys have some deep backstories that you'd like to talk about, not character driven. So funny science fiction, it's an interview based podcast with me and my 2 co-hosts, Nick and Kathleen. And Kathleen's our newbie, so she's only done a couple shows with us, but she's a little spitfire and she adds a lot to our show. So we're very lucky to have her. But yeah, so what we do is we've been talking to a lot of different content creators, writers, directors, so forth. A lot of the same things that a lot of other people do. The difference with our show, and that I like to think with our show, is that we don't take anything too seriously. We try to find what's funny about sci-fi, even if it isn't inherently funny. Even with the movie Dune, as bad and as awful as those movies were, we try to find humor in the fact that Sting made it onto camera and he had bright blue eyes. So, there's lots of different things that you can find funny about it, about different sci-fi. We're also very much of the anti-gatekeeping community. If you like a certain movie, great. If that's your fandom, awesome. It doesn't mean I have to like it but I'm not going to tear you down for it. If you like it, great. I love the fact that you love sci-fi. I love the fact that you love superheroes. I'm not the biggest Star Trek fan in the world, but that, I'm more in the Star Wars camp. And, I'm not more into it. I'm firmly in the Star Wars camp.
You can be diplomatic. We'll allow it. You don't have to.
Yeah. I'm trying to be nice. I'm like, no, it's okay. I'm actually I'm more of the cast-off in the Star Trek fans in our group because I actually like the J.J. Abrams version of Trek version better than I do.
What Star Wars fan doesn't like Star Wars? It's right. Totally fine for you to like Star Wars.
Exactly. So, so that's funny science fiction. So we have people on. We talk to them. We ask them a couple serious questions, a couple silly questions. Try and share some laughs, have a good time, and at the end we play a little quiz with each one of our guests and try and send them away with, no cash, but some prizes. Because we'd have to make cash first to give cash. So
the age-old struggle.
The joy of being a podcaster, doing it for the love, not for the money. So, unless you're Joe Rogan, then you might be doing it for both. But I'm not him, so.
Someday.
And then there's my podcast that did join Scene Snobs recently. That's Focused on Forward, and what that is, that's based off my own personal life issues. My own health issues. When I was in my mid-30s, I had some issues with my heart. I had to have a heart procedure, and but majority of the impetus for starting the podcast was behind the issue with my daughter. In 2019, my daughter spent 97 days in the hospital. 33 of them were in ICU with a condition called Guillain-Barré syndrome, something that we had never even heard of until the doctor said, "Hey, by the way, this is what your daughter has." No kidding. So we had to go do some research on that one, which, by the way, kids.
For that?
So, by the way, kids, if the doctor tells you about a condition that your family member has that you didn't know existed, maybe don't Google it right then and there. That's a really bad thing to do. Maybe have a better discussion with your doctor and get a little bit more information. The name of the show, Focused on Forward, stems from our mantra while she was in the hospital, because that was what we were doing. We were focusing on moving forward. There were so many things that we could have looked at, the negatives of things, but we decided that in that instance, we needed to be positive. We needed to look forward to the things that were upcoming and how we were going to move forward with our lives past the point of getting out of the hospital. Especially because this is an autoimmune issue that she'll have for the rest of her life. She's not getting rid of it. It's like a bad tattoo. Anymore. And so we've I've had the pleasure to talk with now about 45 different people. I think I'm this Friday, upcoming Friday will be episode 44 or 45. So somewhere in there. And 45 people have shared their stories with me of what they've overcome in life, whether it was cancer, whether it was, alcohol issues, drug issues, whether it was, whatever it may be, whatever they had to overcome. And so it's really inspiring to me to hear these people's stories and what they do in their life and how they move forward and everything else. So that's Focused on Forward. You can find it on the Scene Snobs starting April 2nd.
That is awesome, man. Tim and I, we got to know each other back in January. And Tim, you've been a huge supporter of ours, and I thank you very much for that. You're always sharing, awesome. Giving advice, and so forth. And I love the community that we've built in podcasting. You, Mick, myself, and just everybody else that's involved in that group, Jeff Dewalskin, Stacy Toy. We've been really there to help lift each other's podcasts up. And it's showing in my numbers, so I hope it's showing in everybody else's as well. But
I think so.
But we're here to talk to you guys about our personal top 5 sci-fi movies. And the reason I came up with this topic is I was watching RoboCop for the first time in a long time. It's not on my list, but
what?
When I was a kid, which
Spoiler,
was the last time I
it's not on mine either.
RoboCop movies was when I was a kid, except for the remake. I saw the remake recently, but when I was a kid, I saw the RoboCop movies. I loved them all. I did as a kid. I loved all of them. Now, watching them as an adult, the first one is the only one that's good by any stretch of the imagination. The sequel is awful. Awful. I haven't watched the third one again. I'm watching them with my son. I thought the remake was pretty good, to be quite honest. But again, that first movie is so good.
I'm going to try and channel some of Tim. Like, if you like it, that's great. But the new RoboCop was awful, Jason.
Yeah. I would, however, argue for part 2. It did have some fun stuff in it.
It had some funny stuff, but I don't know if it was intentional.
I did appreciate how Dan was like when they made the new ones. They'll just blow right by me because whatever. But no, when they're trying to make the new RoboCops and they're all just like killing themselves. That's hilarious.
I do like your positivity, Scott, and I'm going to say one more thing. Let's see how positive you can remain through this. Star Trek Discovery is great.
We just lost Scott. Scott's gone.
He's just trying to get it right. Then. See, I told you the positivity wasn't going to last long.
Jason killed it.
The way our top 5 work is we'll go to Max. Max will give us his number 5. We'll go around the horn, and then we'll get to Max again. We'll start with our 4s and go around. If you have something that somebody has higher, that person will ask you to hold on to it. We'll save the discussion until we get to when it's higher. And I am excited. I'm trying to pick movies that not a lot of you guys, I think, are going to have on your list. So, Max, what's your number 5? I'm going to let you go first.
My number 5 is The Matrix.
Good pick.
Solid pick, yeah.
It blew my mind when it came out. It was like the one movie that like everyone was talking about, but no one could actually tell you about. And I really dug just that whole movie going experience. I don't think has ever been repeated for me. So like that's it like holds a special place in my heart for that. And also it's a decent kung fu movie.
It still holds up really well.
I know kung fu.
Yeah, I know kung fu, and we get to see some cool sped up stuff.
Yeah, I revisited The Matrix recently.
There you go.
The last time I had saw The Matrix was before I saw Reloaded in theaters, and Reloaded ruined it for me so much so that I never went back until again recently I watched the first one, and I'm like, holy shit, this is awesome. I kind of want to watch the sequels, but I stopped myself from watching the sequels because I remembered my experience before of seeing it in theaters and falling asleep 45 minutes into it because nothing was happening. I'm not going to go back to the sequels. I will check out the fourth one when it comes out, but
something was happening. You were snoring. That's what was happening.
Yeah. Also, Reloaded was my favorite one, but sorry.
I'm glad you have
okay.
that,
There's been too much agreement. I'm glad that we're finally back to disagreeing on most everything.
Yeah, that's fine.
There's a little too much Kim Kumbaya on here.
Yeah, real consistent. Me and Jason have been agreeing on things. It's been getting bad.
That's not, that's not good at all. But I'm doing like my 5 ones that you guys probably won't pick, because if I did my 5 favorites, they'd be just the general 5 favorites. So number 5 is Event Horizon.
That's a great one.
I thought about putting that on my list. It didn't make it, but I thought about putting that on my list.
I have not seen
it. I mean, I enjoy it, but I mean, you asking me if something's good might be wrong. I don't.
But I think it is good. I enjoyed it. It's
kind of like bro sci-fi with horror. Yeah.
Dan, we're not too far off on it. I mean, if you like a movie, Dan, typically I like it too. It's the newer stuff that we don't agree on.
But you normally
I don't think I've ever seen that one.
I do. Like your like spectrum is much wider than mine, JT.
It's because I go into the movie wanting to like everything, so I find reasons.
Yeah,
to like
I do too, and then I don't.
Event Horizon's got Lawrence Fishburne and the dude from Jurassic Park, right?
Yeah,
Sam Neill.
Yeah.
And Sam Neill playing a bad guy is always fun.
I've seen that movie. All right. Sorry.
Well, there
catch the conversation.
Was it good, JT?
Yeah, it was. I haven't seen it in a while, but I saw it with my friend Jeffrey Torres in high school.
And now we've come full circle. Justin?
I think for my number 5, again, I'm trying to skirt I don't think you guys will pick, but Mad Max Fury Road. I really enjoyed that.
Nice. All right.
Yeah. That's good.
That's a weird. I don't really know if I consider that one sci-fi per se. It almost made my list too, but I was like, I don't know if it's really
fair.
But I think it's, if you put it on there, I'm not going to complain.
No, yeah,
I
you can remove that one, please. Yeah, for sure.
Not sci-fi enough.
It's got a lot of sci-fi DNA.
Yeah,
Justin, that is also my number 5. Yeah, Mad Max Fury Road was mine too. I love that movie, absolutely. I need to go back and rewatch it in black and white because they released it in black and white. And I'm all for the gimmicks. Like I watched Logan in black and white, and I was like, "Yay, black and white!"
What a spectacle! That movie is like
shining chrome, my guy. Shining chrome.
Meth and crack and speed, like all mixed up into one. Fury Road's awesome. It was a fun flick. I think for sure.
Scott, what is your number 5? Which Star Trek movies did you pick, Scott?
Actually, okay. So I will preface this list by saying I left off any of them that I had on my top 5 horror films because there's a lot of sci-fi in that, and I tried to stay away from Star Trek and Star Wars and like Marvel movies or something. So I tried not to because I figured those would muddle things up. My number 5 is District 9.
Oh yeah,
ooh, good flick. I enjoyed that one.
So,
you can watch that again, honestly.
Super solid. I revisit that movie a decent amount, at least once per year.
Sorry.
That's one person. He's coming after you, JT.
The District 9 is like the only one of that dude. What Blomkamp's?
Yeah.
Neil Blomkamp.
The only one of his movies that I actually enjoyed, like through and through. It's not like anyway,
there are pieces of Elysium and Chappie that I like, but I don't like either of those movies like as a whole the way I like District 9.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, they're releasing a District 10. Just FYI.
Oh, that's sweet.
Oh. Yeah, he's been talking about doing that for a while, but he's like, I don't know if it's ever the right time, and
I read something the other day that he's gotten more serious about it and is actually going through the process of actually creating it now. So,
although after seeing his other movies, I don't know if I want.
Maybe just leave it alone, bro. Maybe just leave it alone.
One was good. Walk away.
It would have been cool if if he was doing his own universe. And all the movies were in the same universe. I know that might be kind of interesting if you tied it all together, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I need another movie from this guy.
I will say, because I think Chappie came right after District 9, right? That was the second movie?
No, Elysium came after.
Yeah.
Is it flipped? Okay, so he's getting worse then. Because I was like, if it was Chappie, then Elysium. At least Elysium was better than Chappie.
Yeah, but it's he made District 9, and he made that movie for no money. And everyone's like, oh my God, look at this dude. He came out of nowhere. He made this awesome movie for no money. So they gave him a bunch of money to get Matt Damon in there and get some good CG in there.
Matt Damon.
Hey, Mike. Yeah, fucking Buckaroo Banzai.
I love Buckaroo Banzai.
Yep, for sure. I've not seen any of it.
We miss you, Mike.
And it technically has RoboCop in it. So.
Yeah, then Elysium didn't do so great. So then they gave him maybe a little bit more than District 9 budget for Chappie, and then it's got the most CG out of all of them. So
he ordered a crappy rap group with that money, and I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I will say his designs hold up across all of them. I love the designs of the technology and stuff. The story's not there, but all the technology and the guns and the robots and stuff, those are consistently interesting and cool.
Yes.
So I give him that.
I agree. 100%. And he did make District 9, which I like a lot. So, you can't take that away from him.
We can try though.
Tim, what is your number 5?
All right, so my number 5 it could be looked at as more of a comedy than actual sci-fi, but it talks and touches on 2 separate sci-fi movies inside of it. And that is the movie Fanboys. Okay. If you've never seen it, I strongly suggest that you do. It's all about a group of fanboys who are anxious to see Phantom Menace Episode 1. They just didn't realize how bad it was yet, but they're going to go from Ohio to Lucas Ranch and steal a copy of the print. That's the theme of the movie. They run into a lot of Trekkies along the way. There's a lot of anti-Trek jokes in there. So if you're a Star Wars fan who doesn't like Trek and you think that stuff is funny, you're really going to get a kick out of that. But there's mentions of Willow, there's mentions of Indiana Jones, a lot of different things throughout that movie, and a lot of Star Wars references. George Lucas kind of opened up the vault and said, "Here, guys, use whatever sound effect and visual you want. Here you go." There's just a ton of really cool stuff in that movie. Very Star Wars themed.
I need to see that. I have yet to see that.
It's one of my.
I've heard of it. I've never seen
it. I watched it years ago. I really liked it.
You think they should do a Fanboys too, where they go to see the new trilogy? Are they trying to get the print for the new trilogy?
They could have done so much with Finn, and then they didn't.
But it's also partially written by one of my favorite authors, Ernest Cline. He did Ready Player One.
Oh yeah.
Ready Player 2, Armada, a few other things. So Ernest Cline was one of the screenwriters for that. So the natural tie-in for me.
Awesome. I like that pick. My 5 was Mad Max Fury Road. So Max, what's your 4?
My number 4 is Transformers, the movie, the animated one from.
I was about to get really worried. I was like, we get to know his whole list.
No, not Michael Bay, not that.
If it was the Michael Bay version, he would have had to say trans explosion, formers explosion.
Megan Fox.
Yes, Megan Fox. Slow motion running Megan Fox, explosions behind her.
Yes, explosions. So Transformers, the animated movie. This movie is the first movie that made me cry. I watched it as a kid, and Optimus Prime dies, and I lost my shit. It was not a good scene, and I was like, how did they even do that? That was something I just didn't even think was possible. So it kind of I learned some things. I was like, wow, your heroes can die and all these things. And yeah, there's a very transformational movie for me, and it's my number 4.
Transformational.
Right.
I like what you did there, Max.
Yeah. Very nice.
Dan, where are we at?
Oh, Max is gonna love this. Number 4, Judge Dredd.
Hey,
Stallone?
Not Dredd. The Stallone Judge Dredd.
Which
Yes,
I am the law.
And I'll tell you
I gotta
why.
break the law.
One, they did a really good job with Mega City 1. I thought it looks pretty cool. Secondly,
Rob Schneider, right?
no, the other guy, the bad cop guy. I forget his name in that one.
Oh
but,
my god, what's that dude's name?
Is that Armand Assante?
Yes.
Because that dude is just like chewing scenery all over the place. It's brilliant. Like I'm the law. Like, it's the greatest acting thing ever. But yeah, I
like
did
he's
that.
Playing the Joker.
Yeah. In a non-DC movie.
Yeah. But I would equate his performance to Jack Nicholson in the '89 Batman.
Yeah. The reason I didn't like Dredd so much, the later one, was that A, it's the same movie as The Raid, and B, you don't really see much of the actual city, which I thought was a lost problem.
Yeah, I think with the budget, they're like, we can make this movie, and if you keep it, like in the bottle or whatever, then we can have better effects, for what we're doing inside for the action sequences.
Well, just like Judge Dredd, like the comics is a hard sell to like mainstream audiences, so I understand why they focused it on something that was a little more grounded in reality without getting into like the mutants and all the other like weird stuff that eventually
they call me Kenneth Robot. That
uprising. They got a little bit of the psychic stuff, but not too much.
Oh,
I kind of understand.
It also has Max von Sydow in it. and you can't really have a sci-fi movie without him.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. You're right.
Dustin.
So my number 4, I kind of flip-flopped between 4 and 5 for my list, but it was Ex Machina, just because it made me feel uncomfortable. But yeah, okay. All right. Then I'll save my number 4. On to you, Scott.
My number 4 is Moon, directed by Duncan Jones and starring Sam Rockwell.
Yeah.
I really like that movie. That's another movie that it was just like the trailer looked weird, and I was like, okay. I revisit that movie a decent amount. It's just such a cool setting and premise. And I know I think there's a sequel on Netflix, like a quasi sequel that wasn't received too well that I haven't watched yet. I'm gonna get around to it.
Sam Rockwell in it?
I think he has like a cameo, but he's not like the main character or anything. But it's like the same world. Mute. Yeah, it's called Mute. The main character can't talk.
Huh.
Oh wow, that's
so yeah. I haven't seen it. I know. Yeah, I remember hearing reviews and they're like, "This movie sucks." I was like, "No."
I love Sam Rockwell though. Moon is a solid flick, but I love Sam Rockwell. That dude can do anything.
And that was back when Kevin Spacey wasn't a super horrible human being.
Yeah. Well, no, he was.
We just didn't know about it yet.
He was, but it wasn't common.
Yeah,
there you go.
But I think regardless, I think he's a cool robot. I know it's a little tougher to watch movies with him in it, knowing that he's a scumbag. So,
except for 7, he fits right in.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. Never thought about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get him in the end. It's all good.
Yeah.
John Doe is the upper hand, dude.
Tim?
All right. So my number 4 is the awesomeness that is Flash Gordon. So
all right.
I love Flash Gordon. I love everything about it. I love its campiness. I love its horrible dialogue. I love the bad special effects. I love, and I mean sincerely, love Queen and the soundtrack that adds to the movie. There's so much that's bad about the movie that it makes it good. and it's a really bad but good sci-fi movie that it's one of those things I put on in the background and just let it play sometimes. And I'll walk around the house as I'm doing chores around the house or whatever, and I'm mimicking the lines to the movie because I like it so much. It's one of the constants.
Nice. I have not seen Flash Gordon yet. I met Sam Jones though. If you can get Sam Jones on your show, Tim, you need to. The guy is a fantastic.
Actually, we're talking about it right now.
Nice.
So
he's super cool. That guy, we got to meet him at a con, and I know it's not really meeting somebody, but he was like genuinely cool the whole time. So.
I talked to him a little bit ago, and he was supposed to come on the show, but he was in the middle of moving, building a new house, all that kind of stuff. So clearly, he had a lot of time on his hands, and so I told him that we'd reach back out in a couple months and check with him. So, but we're hoping that he's still going to be able to make it.
I did a con with him in Saudi Arabia, and the next day, everybody's complaining about Sam Jones. I'm like, what's going on? They're like, he sat at his booth until 5:30 in the morning, which means they have to stay and wait, signing autographs for every single volunteer. He would not leave until everybody had an autograph. And I think that's just fantastic. I think that's
awesome.
A huge indicator of somebody's character, because he doesn't have to do that. He could have been like Shatner and left for the hotel 2 hours before the con even ended. He didn't have to be sitting there. But he is a great guy. We got to see him do impressions of Hillary Clinton and Trump, and it was fantastic. And he is amazing. He's like the furthest thing from his Ted character too, because he's actually a very religious man too, which was a little surprising when we met him, because you have the Ted image of Sam Jones.
It also makes Ted funny.
That's what we call a paycheck.
Indeed.
He was telling us that one of his most request things is people want him to come and do blow with them.
I don't do that.
Careful, Scott. You have a flirkin.
My number 4 is Terminator 2.
Good pick.
Good pick. Mike. Did we talk about Mike's number 4 real quick that he commented?
Yeah. Before we get into Terminator, there you go.
Whoa!
I'm just saying that was a runner-up. That was a runner-up for my list.
Yeah, Dan says save it.
Yep.
Okay.
So Terminator 2 is one of the greatest sequels ever made. So, I mean, like I said, I was trying to get away from a lot of the popular picks, but I couldn't leave this one off the list because this is a movie I go back and rewatch again and again and again. Some of the CG doesn't hold up quite as well, but it's still a really solid sequel. I think James Cameron, whenever a franchise needs a sequel, I know this was his, but he also did Aliens. They should call James Cameron to make the sequel because the man knows how to do a sequel.
The dude advances the industry. Like when he makes movies, he advances the industry. Like, did you need a better camera? Did you need like a better camera on a submarine for no reason? Like, I'm James Cameron.
James Cameron does what James Cameron does for James Cameron.
And until Dark Fate, this is the movie that all the other Terminator movies were chasing because they were all just remakes of Terminator 2. And this movie is fantastic.
Yeah, it's at the bar.
Cheap remakes of Terminator 2.
Yeah, Terminator 3 is literally Terminator 2, just with a female protagonist or villain, and then Max, what is your 3?
Go ahead.
But Dark Fate is basically Terminator 2 with smushed with Halloween, the last sequel. So I mean,
I thought they did some cool stuff,
but it's also not made by James Cameron. It was only endorsed by James Cameron.
James Cameron franchises.
I'm just arguing that it's still Terminator 2.
It wasn't as bad as all the other Terminator 2. So it's the best Terminator 2 remake that we have, on
like Terminator, whatever the hell it was. John Connor is the Terminator.
Yes. Everyone's a butterfly. All these things happen.
Yay. Anyway.
What are we on my number 3?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. My number 3 is The Fifth Element.
Nice.
I was this close to putting it on my list. I love that movie.
We're holding it. Hold on.
on. Tim's got
Okay.
Hold up. Yeah.
All right.
it. Yes.
Dan?
Okay. My number 3, The Lawnmower Man.
I had never seen this movie.
I've never seen it, but that seems like a good movie.
Wow. I'm glad you love this movie, Dan. I haven't seen it in forever, but I'm glad you like this movie.
I like this because I love the terror that computers and virtual reality like it had like a terror hold on people in the 90s. Like it's like, oh, this is horrifying new technology, my God. And it's just, I mean, The Lawnmower Man is what that is. Plus, it was a very cool SNES game. So.
Nice.
It's a Flurkin. Thank you very much.
Justin?
So I think my number 3, I really enjoyed Live, Die, Repeat. If we're gonna kind of go things my common path wouldn't do, but I had zero expectations for this movie going in. I thought it was gonna suck. And then it just was much better than I thought it would be.
Instead, you get to see Tom Cruise die over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's something you're into, yeah, for sure.
You just gotta stop watching the movie when he stops dying every 3 seconds. Like, I feel like after that, the movie's just not as good.
That's fair.
I love that movie too, Justin.
I was a fan.
Yeah. I had to skip it. It had Tom Cruise in it. I have a
Is it a
strict,
Scientology bend? Yeah.
No, it's I think Tom Cruise sucks, and I can't understand why he's an actor bend.
Fair enough.
Fair.
So
you could read the original book, though, so it's okay.
Yeah. But I think that is like a big strength of the movie. Is like if you hate Tom Cruise, it's a great movie to watch because he's just getting
He dies like 83 times in that movie, and it is worth it to watch him just get
in like horrific ways.
Yeah.
We'll find a highlight video for him.
Like they pretty much gathered up all the ways you've thought about Tom Cruise dying, and then they just display them for you.
So I need to write the studio and thank them, is what you're saying.
Yes. Yeah, but like after the point where he stops dying, like we're gonna say per capita every 3 minutes, then you don't have to watch any more of the movie.
Yeah, once they get into like the farmhouse.
Imagine your own.
He dies
ending.
a couple times in the farmhouse.
Imagine your own ending.
Yeah, or don't. You just sit there with all the thoughts of Tom Cruise dying and don't worry about anything else.
And the rest of the movie's fine, but yes, the first half is definitely superior to the back half. I do agree with that. Scott, 3?
Solid. All right. Where's my list? My number 3 is Sunshine.
Oh, cap it.
All right.
Oh man, we're getting to the nitty gritty now.
Yep.
Nice. Tim, what's your 3?
I even tried to do deep cuts. I was like, I'm not gonna choose super.
I think that's what everyone did.
common
We're starting
words.
to hit our own notes. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to flip-flop my number 3 and my number 2 because my number 2 is the same as Max's number 3. So let's talk Fifth Element.
All right. I love this movie. What's the director's name? Leon, the professional director.
That one dude.
Luc Besson.
Yeah. What?
Luc Besson, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. This is like a passion project of his, and like I love all the art design. I love Chris Tucker in this movie.
Chris Tucker was great.
Chris Tucker was perfect.
There's just a lot of awesome things. I mean, Mia Jovovich, obviously, it's a Mia Jovovich movie, but like
a good one.
Yeah, it's the best one.
Whoa! She was in cuffs.
This is the best Mia Jovovich.
I was waiting for you to follow that up with an argument.
Resident Evil 6 or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how Jason has her IMDb page up and like, no, wait, she was in this movie too.
Yeah, she was. But this
is scrambling to find a
loves
watchable Mia Jovovich movie.
So
hey now.
One of the things I love about the movie is the willingness to go over the top on the sci-fi tropes. And it's not just that that there's flying cars, but it's the way that they do that. It's not that McDonald's is futurized in this, but the way that they do it. There's all these different things that are the aliens and how they're brought into the movie and everything else. There's so much of this that's been done a million times before in any sci-fi movie, but this movie was willing to go, complete the arc, go over the top, and have fun with it and still pull it off. Plus, I really like Bruce Willis as an action sci-fi star, and I think he does that genre very, very well. So, you know.
And there's just a lot of funny moments. There's a lot of just genuinely like Gary Oldman as the bad guy,
right?
Yeah.
Big body boom.
Oh man,
goofy
Chris Tucker countdown from 10. The opera scene, like there's so many just like great scenes, but I love The Fifth Element. It's just one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, very, very solid. So I heard something about The Fifth Element that actually even kind of made it more interesting to me. And I got this from a pretty reputable source. Is that so? There's a guy on TikTok. His name is Mike Corey, and we just interviewed him recently on Funny Science Fiction. He's got a show called Props to History.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's got a new podcast coming out. He's only done a couple episodes of it, but it'll also be called Props to History. And so he talks about movie props and things, movie history, and all this kind of stuff. And he's a really cool dude, and he's got an awesome TikTok channel. So if you haven't followed him, go check out Props to History. You're gonna love it. Anyway, he talked about how that role from Chris Tucker was originally designed for Prince.
Oh, I can see that.
And then how Prince
I think I've heard that before, actually.
And Prince kind of backed out at the last minute. So they said, well, who else is about the same size and could pull it off? Well, body shape, Chris Tucker's the same size, but he's much taller than Prince. Most fourth graders were taller than Prince.
That's why you gotta wear them shoes.
My man rocked some platforms in his day. But so they talked about how, who was the person who could probably carry out the eccentricities that was going to be required to play Ruby Rod. And so they were like, yeah, Chris Tucker.
This is like, I don't know what I like more is it Chris Tucker in this movie or Chris Tucker in Friday. I love Ruby Rod. The whole scene with every scene with Ruby Rod is just awesome.
When Ruby Rod shoots the alien, I laugh my butt off every single day. Is he dead? Is he dead?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a really bad. Yeah, that's a really bad Chris Tucker impression, but yeah, that was it.
Come in, my man. Green, silver green.
Silver green.
The dude trying to rob Bruce Willis in the hallway.
Yeah.
I'm a human popsicle.
Yeah. All right. Sorry. Fifth Element is a great movie. I think we should all agree that Fifth Element is a great movie.
Yeah,
Jason,
great show.
What's your number 3?
It was Edge of Tomorrow. So Max, what's your 2?
Edge of Wait, what?
They're the same movie, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Live, die, repeat. All right. Hold on. Go back to Mike's number 3.
Until the end of the world.
Sci-fi road movie romance that's 5 hours long, but more impactful character story than Justice League. Winky face.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
I've not seen it.
I took a dump that has more character development than Justice League.
Yes.
You tell Max's fandom is strong.
I can see a face in this one.
All right, number 2. Are we on number 2 then?
Yeah.
I have. Oh, that's Sunshine with Scott.
Good choice. Good choice.
What
a solid flick. This is just like a cool. I'm trying to think of like what do I want to say about it, because it's just so like kind of different. I like how it's just like, oh, we need to do this mission, and we got to save the sun, and so it's just like kind of a slice of life up until like kind of the last third of the movie, when the movie kind of switches and it's like kind of a different movie. But I enjoy the stuff up until that, just like which I didn't like the first time I watched it, and like rewatching it, I don't mind it as much. But I enjoy just like everyone's just kind of hitting on each other's nerves, and like the stakes are kind of low. They're just scientists going to do this mission, and then once things start getting serious, the movie definitely switches, and it gets a lot more serious and dramatic. I especially like the stuff where they go over to the other ship and they find the derelict ship that no one knows what happened to it, and it like makes sense why they go over. Like a lot of like sci-fi movies, like Prometheus and stuff. Like when things go wrong, it's just because they're doing things like that don't have a logical reason for them to do them. But this one, they're like, this technology is experimental. Like if our payload doesn't work, we should go over and get this ship because it's better to have 2 payloads than just one. So it like makes sense in terms of the movie. Like, oh, we need to get a second chance just in case this fails because there's no third try.
Right.
If we don't succeed, the world's gonna die basically. So yeah, enjoyed that aspect of it.
I like that. They're doing this impossible mission where it's like the people who went had to pretty much figure that they were not coming back. Like there's no, like when you think about them getting on each other's nerves and stuff like that, like you think you can go park your ass next to the sun and not die. Like that's, that was interesting to me. But this movie like let me know that Chris Evans is a solid actor. Like because I'd only kind of see him do like funny things, in his first few movies, and then like he made this one where he like his character has a lot of range, and I really dug it. So there's like just a lot of good things.
Sorry. And Chris Evans saying, "Have you seen Snowpiercer?" Because I'd almost made my list, and he was cool.
Like Snowpiercer.
I like Snowpiercer, probably for all the reasons Max doesn't like it.
I want to like it. I mean, it's very popular, but I just don't. I don't get why people like it.
Sure.
I love that movie. I haven't actually seen it in a long time, and I haven't watched any of the TV shows.
Cool.
It's nothing like the movie, if that makes you.
Okay.
Any opinion?
Actually, I feel like Snowpiercer has a lot less range for Chris Evans. He's kind of like.
He's one-sided. I'm just saying, but different than Captain America.
So. Yes,
right.
Yeah, he does. He hits on it, for sure.
But I think Sunshine has a more like human take on in this. Until like the very end, he's kind of just like the Chris badass, Evans? Like fit dude who's like leading the charge. Until the very end, and then you get more of his backstory.
Yeah.
Sunshine, I think he's more of just like a normal dude.
Awesome. Sometimes a great, like I love the effects. I thought like everything's good, like a solid cast, and
Killian Murphy, I loved ever since this movie. I already liked him from 28 Days Later, and then I saw this, and I was like, yeah, I'm totally on board with whatever this dude does.
He's made like, did you see Red Eye? He was not good now.
I have not, so maybe that's why, because I only ever watch his good stuff.
No,
yeah.
Red Eye was not good.
I was gonna say that was more of an issue with the story than the actor.
Yeah, that's true. But he's been in some bad stuff.
That was dumb.
Like,
yeah,
he doesn't knock them all out of the park.
You can only put so much polish on a turd.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like that's. But he took the money though.
I can't argue with that.
Dan, what's your 2?
Dark City, because it's awesome.
Also,
I love the way it looks. I love the cast. I love the concept of just messing with people and making them like different people every day to do whatever the hell you want with, because you're a scary guy that just goes sleep, and they do. It's fun.
This is another movie I haven't seen in a long time,
and you should really see it.
I remember really liking. I need to rewatch it, but I remember really liking it.
Yeah.
All right, Mike says his number 2 is Blade Runner, all versions, bored as fuck. Harrison Ford voiceover is my chill Sunday afternoon jam, and whatever is going on with that uniform. This is a movie I have not seen yet.
I love the voiceover version of
particular reason that I haven't seen it. I just haven't seen it. I need to fix that wrong.
Jason.
Do you watch all of the versions simultaneously? Is that what he's talking about? All versions? Like does he have like 9 screens and he's watching
just like the Matrix of Blade Runner?
Justin, what's your 2?
It takes a really long time to vacuum his place.
I think my number 2, and it's more of a comedy, but Idiocracy. I love that movie.
Yeah,
it was just so funny to me.
That is a great pick. I didn't even think about that.
Like President Camacho and the whole thing.
Yes,
I just love
Cruz as the president is the best.
And then them giving Gatorade to the crops. Oh my god, I die with that movie every time.
What plants crave.
Their only source of water is toilet water.
That's right. Yeah. Water helps things grow.
Like in a toilet?
God, I love that movie so much.
It's just like nice. That's one of those movies though where it's like it makes you sad because like you see it happening. Like,
I mean, they definitely took some liberties and didn't know what's going to happen. Like, a lot of people have babies.
And I'm just like, well, they made a movie about this. Like, how are we still doing it? Like, Idiocracy is a good pick. I don't know if
there's time travel.
Sci-fi. It's
in the future. What more do you want from me?
It's in the future.
It's not time travel. We'll count it for sure.
If you keep going, you're going to rule out my number 1. So stop.
We're not ruling nothing out. Like, I just, it's so funny that you don't think about it as
for sure.
Also,
for sure.
Oh, I'm sorry. Scott.
Upgrade subplot. Amazing. I had a toss up for number 2, and Mike said Blade Runner, so that was one of my options. So I'm going to go with the other one, 2001: Space Odyssey.
Nice.
That's my 2.
Is my number 2. It was going to be on here, but yeah, great movie. Definitely a slow burn. So if you're not into like just long sequences of like spacewalks where they're not even like fixing the thing. I just love the sequence. He just gets in the airlock, goes out, and most of it is just him traveling to the equipment piece that he has to fix, and the only noise is just his breathing. Like I kind of dig stuff like that, just like that super realistic depiction of like space travel and how it would actually be.
Right.
But there's a lot of other stuff. Like definitely things happen. Lots of.
What movie did you pick? I'm sorry, I didn't hear the title.
2001.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Max's comment is directed at you. Idiocracy is a world of people who gave the Justice League a 1.
I'm aware who that was.
We didn't know that, Nick.
I'm absolutely aware who that was. But it's. I guess I just gotta rename everyone Stockholm. Then, like, if you are so beaten down by bad product that you think that this is good, then you know what? Like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to try to like poo-poo on your parade, but the new Justice League movie sucks. Like, it's not a good movie.
Max, you're stepping all over 2001 talkie time.
That is.
He put the thing up.
It is also my number 2. I didn't see this movie till last year, and I had a tough time getting past the apes at the beginning. But then I finally sat down
10 minutes.
And watched it.
Apes are fun.
I know.
Like gorillas.
There's a reason it's there. I get it. I get it now that I've seen the whole movie, and this is a testament to everybody out there. Watch the whole movie. It is a really solid science fiction movie. 100%.
If you get the opportunity to see this movie in 70 millimeter, you should 100% do it. I had the option to see it at
anything in 70 millimeter. Go ahead and do it.
Yes, but 2001, I think it like really showcases like the strength of that format. So, you know what? Justice League reshoot is my number 1. So let's just go right into it.
Oh God.
I liked it, and that was nowhere near my top 50. Tim, what is your number 2?
All right, so my number 2. So Friday night on Funny Science Fiction on our live, we talked about our top 3 favorite science fiction movies. So and I've already flipped around 2 and 3. So my number 3 is a tie. Originally, I talked on our live about how much I love Endgame, and you know how important that movie is to sci-fi history, all the things that tied together, all that kind of stuff. But I'm going to talk about a different one more than that. It's a Disney movie. It's a cartoon. It's animated. It's called Meet the Robinsons. It has time travel. It has autonomous robots, autonomous killer robots, nonetheless. It's just a great show. And it has some of the best quotable lines in it that you're going to get out of a animated sci-fi movie. Especially when, you know, there's a talking T-Rex because he's wearing the little bowler cap, you know, all that kind of stuff, you know.
Just wondering how thought out this plan was.
Exactly. I got a big head, little arms. So yeah, I started watching that movie when my kids were little, and then my kids grew up, and I'm still watching the movie.
It's a long movie, man.
No, let's watch Meet the Robinsons.
Yeah, if you thought Justice League was long, dude. My oldest is 22. I mean, come on. So, but yeah, Meet the Robinsons, really good show. It's got a lot of basic sci-fi tropes that it uses throughout it. And but it does it really well with a family-friendly setting and humor.
Nice. I really like Justin and Tim's picks just because they were out of like left field. So
yes.
Max, number one, the big one,
Justice League.
No,
Justice League.
Gotta be it.
No.
It's a six-way tie. Justice League.
Max is actually Justice League.
The Snyder cut above all else.
Dark Side.
He's like Justice League 2017. I'm old school.
Don't fuck the original.
Oh, yeah,
I'll take a 4-hour Ace Ventura 3 if they want to.
The Whedon cut is obviously the superior movie. But my number one pick is Children of Men.
Nice. Good call.
Right. Good one. I've not seen that.
It's a real good movie.
It's super depressing.
Yeah, it's super depressing. But
goody. It's a fun one.
But it's a premise that I just warms the cockles of my heart.
And how many Xanax do you have to take to be able to watch the movie? That's
and how many cockles?
This is like this is a Promised Neverland thing for Max, I'm sure.
What if there were no more children? What if children just stopped being born? Greatest premise of a movie ever. I would have gone a different way with it. It would have been utopia for those who are left. But that's
Max hates kids, by the way.
I was picking up on that.
No, it's like a really good movie. It's very compelling. Clive Owen does a very good job in that one.
Clive Owen's great in this film.
Some of the cinematic things, like we were talking about James Cameron advancing the industry, like they have the longest single cuts in I've seen in some movies, and it's like very intricate, very hard to do. So like I just got mad props for everyone involved, because like the movie is very well done on a bunch of different levels. Julianne Moore is in it. There's a bunch of good people in it. Freaking
Michael Caine.
And
Michael Caine.
It's a solid flick. It is depressing, so like you have to be in a mood to watch it, but or like wait until you're way up and it'll bring it down a couple notches. Like don't watch it when you're down, because you don't want to get any lower than that. But it is a very, very good movie, and I love it. It's one of my favorites. So it's my number one for right now. Until we have to do another sci-fi number 5.
Dan.
My number one is the antithesis of why the ending of your movie shouldn't have happened. Max.
Okay.
A Clockwork Orange.
Okay.
That seems right. That seems right up your alley. Yeah, that makes sense.
What is it about the Yarbles in that one?
What's that?
What is it about the Yarbles in that one?
Yarbles?
Yarbles.
Yar.
Anyway, never mind. Maybe I'm thinking of it.
But I like the dystopian future. I like the way it looks. I like that they got rid of the last chapter of the book. So
we don't need this.
Be still not healed. It makes me happy. It probably shouldn't, but it does.
I remember watching that movie as a kid, as a teenager, and going, how high was he when he made this movie? I didn't realize there was a book at the time, but I'm like, somebody was ripped when they made this movie.
I picked this one because I couldn't pick Caligula for a sci-fi movie.
There's just no way to make it work.
But that's going to be a remake revolution at some point. I'm going to
just be Stargate and Caligula.
Oh boy,
yeah.
There's
Mark my words.
Tom Cruise.
Justin.
I get to see Dan at home last night thinking, all right, Caligula, I got to make this work for science fiction. He has like a whole like chart with red lines going across.
Well, okay. So you could take this the Star Trek one with the ribbon, which Malcolm McDowell was also in. Okay.
Oh God, Generations.
you can somehow turn Malcolm McDowell from a Clockwork Orange, shove him through that, and you got Caligula in space.
If you listen very carefully, you can hear Dan stretch.
See?
Scott, Generations is my number one.
So
Oh
for my number one, I couldn't get away from one of the mainstream movies, right? I set Star Wars and Back to the Future aside, but I had to throw in Aliens, or Alien rather. I really enjoyed the first one. Yeah,
I almost picked that as my number one, and I was like, I got to give props to Children of Men because I don't think it's going to be on the list.
Yeah, no, it's a good call. Yeah. It's a good call. Yeah, I know all this.
I left my horror picks off, or else this would have been.
No, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yep.
Flight of the Navigator.
A medieval
not Flight of the
Navigator. Flight of the Concorde. Just got some random
I love Flight of the Concorde.
All of a sudden, I'm sitting here listening to Beach Boys in my head.
Yes, yeah, come and get one of the novels.
No, God.
All right,
yeah,
Scott,
Alien
what
is
is your
super,
number
super
one?
awesome.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
My number one. What is Justin? You got anything else to say?
No. I my thing is, I knew everyone loved it, so I was like, I'm just gonna throw this out there and be done with it. But yeah, go ahead, Scott.
All right, that's fair enough. My number one is Arrival.
That's good.
Good one.
That is good. That was almost on my
that,
5.
but-
Probably 6 for me. I love that movie.
Yeah, that would get honored.
Arrival is a movie that if someone says that like there's no good new sci-fi, this is like an easy one for me to bring up. I love this movie so much. I think it was on Amazon Prime for a little while, and I think I watched it like once a week after I saw it for the first time, and I was like, this movie is so amazing. Like everything it does, it's super incredible. I just love the whole like figuring out their language. I like movies that try to do realistic depictions of like contact between humans and aliens. Like that's why District 9 is on this list.
Nice.
That
Just because like
is a good pick.
it's everything's like there's like something goes shitty, and it's just because humans are like mistrustful and quick to violence and stuff. And yeah, it's like so heartbreaking. Like these soldiers are like, man, let's kill these aliens, and it's just so great, and it's very like emotional, just on a lot of different levels.
Yeah,
especially Amy Adams gives like this incredible performance.
Yes,
like you need to be sad about something that hasn't happened to you yet, and it's going to happen, but you still decide to go through with it. Like,
from when she started learning the language, she started like experiencing her whole life all at the same time, and so it's like even though you knew like how terrible things would make you feel, like you still go through with them, and like it's like a Dr. Manhattan sort of like conundrum where he's able to like experience his whole life at the same time, but like it like the present is happening right now, like so it's sort of like you can see in the future because he's experiencing this present in the past, but also he's still got to do the things that he's doing in the present to yada yada like that. So I like Arrival for that. Like when she learns the language, you figure out that like all the shots of all this crazy sad shit that's happening is not happened yet, and she's experiencing her whole life, just through learning this language. Like that, that was pretty sweet.
And the best part is that not once does she mention Martha. So
that was
a detriment to Max.
That was her mother's
really
name too. So you think that she would have said something.
Everyone's mother's name is Martha.
Just now.
Max mansplains Arrival.
Nice.
No, like I'm just like amazed by it's a very interesting thought. Like just that whole if you can experience all of your time at once.
And then Max mansplains his explanation of Arrival.
The mansplaining of the mansplaining. Way to double down there, buddy.
I'm done.
Tim, what's your number one?
All right.
Super
So
great.
if you think that I'm going to do a top 5 pick of sci-fi movies without a Star Wars mention, you're out of your mind. So my favorite movie of all time, it doesn't matter what genre movie it is, it's Empire Strikes Back.
Yes.
So any mention of sci-fi, any mention of, I'll put that up in a comedy movie, I'll put it in a romance, I'll put it in a dramedy, whatever you want to call it. Empire Strikes Back, in my opinion, is the best movie that's ever been made, and it's got everything across the board, and I just love it. So for me, that's an easy pick. It's a no-brainer. It has to be on there. It has to be Empire.
Awesome. That's a good pick. That's a very good pick. And it looks like Max-plaining is the new term that we're going to use going forward.
He's starting a new podcast.
I will Max-plain any fucking thing.
And then Mike says honorable mention is Silent Night, Deadly Night 2. It's about a grown man that remembers events that happened when he was a baby and or not around to see those events, and he hates garbage day.
True. No, you said it wrong. Although you could put the Silent Night, Deadly Night where he comes back with his brain stuck in a weird little Tupperware thing on the top of his head. Because that's more sci-fi.
Yeah, it's
I could have gone with Cool World. That was a great movie. We found out what happens when a human and a doodle make it, or we could have gone with Catwoman. But
no, you couldn't.
I'm not sure that's
the
sci-fi.
same route as Scott. There's a sci-fi movie that was made within the last probably 10 years now, and it's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's probably in my top 10 movies of all time, and that is Ex Machina. I love this movie. I could watch this movie every day, and it has nothing to do with my crush on Alicia Vikander. This movie is fantastic. I love movies where the good guys don't win, and I think
the good guys do win.
It depends on how you look at it. Yeah, it's kind of like Annihilation, which is another movie that I really liked, and a lot of people don't because they got what they wanted, but they didn't. But they did. They didn't. I love that movie. But
Oscar Isaac is sweet in that movie.
Yes.
Domhnall Gleeson is that was his first movie, wasn't? No, he was a Weasley.
Yeah, and he was in Dredd
before.
as well.
Yeah, he did stuff before Harry Potter.
Yeah, but this is the movie where I got sort of like Sunshine with Chris Evans. Like I'm like, oh shit, this dude is like really, really good at acting.
The movie is solid. The cast is like 3 people, and they all bring their A game, and it is a really good movie. If you have not seen it yet, check it out. Check out any of the movies on anybody's list. They're all solid picks, even Cool World. They're fantastic. The reason I keep bringing up Cool World is because it just got added to Amazon Prime, and I'm really excited to watch it again. I haven't seen it since the 90s.
You're like, oh yeah, it's the best sci-fi movie? Matlock. That was the best sci-fi movie. Everybody Matlock, the sci-fi movie.
I'm not
but
crazy.
Then
Matlock's not a movie. It'd be a good sci-fi show.
Get ready for depression with Cool World there. I might as well just watch Monkey Bone as a double feature.
I have not seen Monkey Bone.
Yeah, go have fun with that.
I like everybody's picks. Again, I want to thank Tim for joining us. We're actually going to get out on time today-ish. Tim, where can everybody find you online?
So if you're interested in finding out more about funny science fiction, check us out on the good old Twitter at Funny Sci-Fi. You can find us on YouTube as well for our YouTube channel, Funny Science Fiction Podcast. And you can find the audio version of the YouTube show on any of your favorite podcast destinations like Apple, Spotify, Google, what have you.
Fantastic. I want to thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Tim and I in the chats of almost every single Scene Snob show. Go to thescenesnobs.com or check it out on Facebook. Chat with us during the shows. The Scene Snobs podcast on Tuesdays at 9 has been fantastic. The Jeff DeWolskins show on Wednesdays, there was a little bickering back and forth on that one over Punky Brewster. It's fantastic. So check that out. And all of the great shows on the Scene Snobs. Check out the 3 Geeks. Go to 3geeks.ninja. I'm going to work on revamping the website because we're not really doing written reviews right now. So I'm going to
website on the internet.
3geeks.ninja. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram and everything at 3 Geeks Podcast. We're on all the audio. And our audio downloads, everybody that's been contributing to that, thank you so much. I didn't know switching to Libsyn would have this much of a change in our listenership. So I want to thank you. I want to thank everybody in India who's come through full power on supporting our podcast, people in Malaysia and Russia.
Yeah.
We're worldwide now. It's great.
I just want to take a second to, if we're thanking people internationally, I just want to thank the fine folks of the country of Israel who apparently made Funny Sci-Fi number 2 for 3 weeks. So, so we were the number 2 podcast. I'm like, that's just a joke in itself that we're number 2.
We're number 2. We're number 2.
So you never want to be number 1 because then everybody's gunning for you. But being number 2 or 3, it's a pretty good place to be.
Yeah, I mean, it went quickly downhill, but we were number 2 for a solid couple weeks. But
yeah, I mean, you can't say it didn't happen.
That's right. You can't take it away from me.
According to podcastnotes.com or something, listener Mick sent it to me. We're in the top 5%.
Yeah, I mean, top 5%. So that's still out of 800,000 podcasts.
That's true.
We're coming for them. But you're coming for
nobody's doing really well across the board.
And Tim's IMDb ranking is through the roof. Where are you at with that? Are you still beating Jeff?
Well, I don't want to put that out publicly because I don't want Jeff to get any excitement. But I think he's above me again. I went up really. I was in I was at 120,000 on my star meter on IMDb for a little bit. I was like, yeah, check it out, Jeff. And now I'm down to I think 290 something. So.
I got to make my IMDb page. I have not done that yet. But everybody out there, have a great day.
Psycho you droids.
I was wondering if that was coming. I went a little too fast. I don't have the closing credits pulled up yet. So just give me a quick 3 seconds.
We'll give you
professionalism.
I'll give you a topic.
Indeed.
Discuss amongst yourselves.
A chickpea is in
Very verklempt.